All right, so ladies and gentlemen, all right, so what we have going right now is practice and then also practice for match one, the actual step ladder, and then we've got the roll-off happening for top seed. So there are multiple matches actually happening right now. All right. So we'll start here. This is the number one seed roll-off. Brett Lloyd, Josh Kennedy. In a few minutes, then we'll transition over to 9 and 10. And then we'll actually start the official stepladder finals. They tied at 46-16. That was the number. 46-16. That was the number. So again, this is the top seed roll-off. Again on 9 and 10, which is the actual stepladder pair. Cameron Foster will take on Clay Reese. I've never seen a tie for the number one seed at anything, any bowling event that I've ever done before in my life. So I guess there's always the old first time for everything scenario, which is very true. Both players perfect through the first couple as well. Emil Williams Jr. here with you. Please share all of your social media networks. Hit the thumbs up as well. Championship finals. Josh Kennedy shot 268. Brett Lloyd 194. I don't have the final scores. I'll try to grab those online real quick. We'll take a moment, get the scores ready for 9 and 10. All right, so 9 and 10, we may have, we might be complete with our practice, but although it doesn't look like it. I'll get the final tally on that here in just a moment. So it looks like we're all but ready to go on 9 and 10 at this point. We'll mosey on over to 9 and 10 here in just a second. Jeff Riggles of 11thframe.com. Now to join. Whew. Yeah, that's not one you put on the bingo card.
Dang, what a last game, and here we are running 2 matches at once, and holy cow, Joe's paying out brackets, so we're doing that. And how about that 410 near conversion by Josh there?
Yeah,
wow.
This is
what a crazy last game.
We got some stuff. All right, let's take you over to now the official stepladder here.
And of course, Cameron was the higher seed, so he got to choose starting lane, and he chose to start the match. Josh Kennedy up, down 13 in the roll-off match.
All right, so we'll remove our number 1 seed roll-off. I'll add the scores back here in just one moment.
And a bucket.
Bucket for Clay Reese, and boy, I saw Kristen Foster. Shout out to Kristen, shout out to William Penn in the chat. She let us know that Clay had shot 268. And we'll try to get a final tally on standings.
Oh, I got him right here.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Sorry. Thought oh, so this score was wrong then? The 69 was actually 68?
Oh, well, then it's 269.
Yeah, this comes from Joe. That's official. Double checked in. We got a chop. So yours is the same, so that's good. Oh, no, wait, you didn't have a full printout of the last game. There
No, I did not. I definitely
There it
did
is.
it for sure.
On a reference, we'll put it between us. And another strike for Brett after a spare. So let's see. And Josh had a double, so it's a 2-pin match if my aging eyes are accurate.
Yeah, they both started with the front 4 down there. Meanwhile, Reese trying to get on the board. Of course, the lanes have been re-oiled.
For this match, for the stepladder.
Yeah, for the stepladder in particular. Right thing to do, certainly, on that particular 1 seed match. They are bowling on pairs that were not yet oiled.
And that's the way traditionally the Greater Iowa's always done this tournament, and that's how they do, you know, do usually if they have a ladder like for the majors, I believe.
All right, good spare from Clay. He is on the board, and now back to Cameron Foster.
And a little breaking news of a sort. Joe talking with Bob Hockreen. They're talking about reducing Sunday to 10 games, perhaps even 8 next year. Bowler sentiment has been for a few, and this goes on year after year after year. 12 is just so much, especially if you're buried at the bottom.
Sure.
And, you know, it was 12, so everybody bowled 1 game on each pair. But, you know, if you're bowling 10 games, whatever. So that's a thought for next year. And that was a 10-pin for Josh. So So
And of course, there's going to be some objection somewhere. Somebody who's making a run who said going to have probably 2 more games that could have made it. There's always that, but.
Oh, Mark, if you got a problem with that, you got to call Seattle. John Weber in the old days.
That's right. That's right.
Jeff, if you got a problem, call Seattle. Not my problem. I don't make the rules. I enforce them. Oh, I miss John Weber.
Thanks, John. I'm sorry, Hall of Famer John
Yes,
Weber.
yes.
All right, in the booth here with you, Emil Williams Jr., 11thframe.com's Jeff Riggles, and the Telegraph Herald?
Yes.
The Telegraph
Dubuque
Herald.
Telegraph Herald.
Two newspaper guys. Boy, 2 dinosaurs in the.
Wow.
It's Foster. Cam was part of the cross today that had 3 of the 4 300s in one game on 21 and 22. His was the last of the 3 300s, and Dave Dittlinger shot 277 on the pair. Same game, 21 and 22. That is a true story. It did happen.
Yeah, it's decent scoring pair. Always has been.
I think that pretty much wraps up the. Was that the first and the 10th? Oh, no, that was only the 9th. So we could have 245 if Kennedy goes off. So 9 out would be 245 if my math is right. So mark here for Brett Lloyd, and he will be the top seed.
That's important, obviously, for a number of reasons. A few more dollars to the winner. Obviously, choice of lane and only 1 game to bowl to win the title.
Yep, guaranteed shot at the title and the bet you win. Bet you win's probably 700. Joel, give us that figure. I forgot to ask him.
We will get that shortly.
Yeah, I forgot to ask him. It's not quite what it was the one year when it crossed over because it was Jerry Mars that forgot to enter. So it carried over to the next year. So it was like $1,400.
Yeah.
Wow.
Watching this here at the Fresh, this is miles more hook than the past couple of years, just looking at the Fresh from my memory. So I've got to say the change in oil, that's where all this extra friction, and that's where all the scores, friction equals scores. That's where a big factor in the scores, without a doubt. And Brett Lloyd with the strike to lock it up. He will be the top seed. Josh Kennedy will be number 2.
And the number 3 seed is David Cole, who had to hold on for a spot. And break there for Clay. Cole had to hold on. His last couple of games weren't his best. Last 3 games, actually.
Yeah, and he threw the last 5 for the 194. And I'm pretty sure if I was doing my math right, he needed the first hit in the 10th.
Yes.
Or he did not make it.
Yeah, we weren't sure just based on the bonus structure.
Yeah, you can't figure it out totally.
But we knew if he could tie Brett Lloyd at that time. And so you felt like if he could tie Brett Lloyd and he was 70 pins ahead of third, that might be okay. As Garrett Meadows, who did shoot 215, he ends up missing this thing by 18 pins. Foster, first to double here in this match. This is the official opening match of the 11thframe.com Open Stepladder. But to the right of us, we had something I've never seen before.
Yeah, it hasn't happened in this tournament in the dozen years or so that we've had it.
A tie for the top spot.
Or any of the stepladder positions. I don't remember one.
No, I can't either.
I'm always used to seeing the ties for the, of course, for the stepladder. I'm sorry, for 5th. Like you get that tie a lot.
If we'd have had a tie for 4th and 5th, I think then it would have just been high game because it's just who chooses starting lane. It's not worth pulling a hole. All this governed by the rules of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. If you have a complaint, don't at me. Just call Seattle. Pair does not look real easy here so far.
now. And Mark, you were talking about various pairs in this building, and I think you said one pair maybe had a hang spot, one lane.
Well, the old 14, now lane 10, has a little bit just in front of the spot. It's got to be topography because it's been there for a while. And this was the pair. I think this was the pair that Jerry Mars ran the step ladder, and he was able to solve. He was able to play inside that hang spot and have a reasonable look. He didn't float too many out to the right, and if he did, he didn't wash out or anything like that. Now, although that shot from Reese was with urethane, it's still, high flush, but you could tell if he throws that same shot on 9, it's going to be probably 4-7 or a 4-pin.
So the final over there, 267 to 225 for the battle for the number 1 seed.
Check the standings online for you, make sure they are updated. They are, so I'll give you the link to our standings now that they are final. Clay, no, 10-pin.
Well, I think our next match will be the happiest guy in the world that there was a re-oil.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And he did tell me that. He wasn't shy. He said he was tired. He wasn't gassed, but he felt, he hasn't bowled this much. I mean, he told me yesterday, he told E as well that, he hasn't bowled much since Nationals, if anything. So he came up in here with a completely clear mind, just, throw the ball and let's see what happens. But then you put 2 long days, back to back. Of course, you got Saturday that means something, and then Sunday that even means more, and then you come out to a great start. The adrenaline starts going, and you just want to stay out of your own way and knock them down.
It's Cameron, great shot. Here's a look at your number 3 seed, David Cole, over on the warm-up pairs.
Boy, that rack on 13 is a little unfriendly from my angle. Light mixer carries, though.
Good look at the pins there, too, on 9.
Did I just say 13?
You did.
Yes, you did.
Years of habit. I told Bob, you are going to make me look really bad. Bob Hockreen, the manager here, had to leave today. Usually he's here every moment of the entire weekend, but moving his daughter into college tonight, so he had to go home and start packing.
Peanut.
He said, I have to go home and start packing and getting yelled at. Said, just like running a bowling center then. The getting yelled at part anyway.
4-7-10 there for Clay Reese. Made the trip all the way from Utah. I had Joe Engelkiss in the booth, and he talked about Clay, and made the call to double check to see where he was on the wait list. I think it was Thursday, and he said it was plenty of time for him to make his trip in the reservations part, and here he is.
And he is missing his flight home, I believe, is what I was told. So instead of flying out of Cedar Rapids tonight, he's going out of Des Moines tomorrow, I think I heard.
Although Dubuque has puddle jumper service to O'Hare these days.
I always get a chuckle out of that airport when I drive by on the way down to the Quad Cities. Quote unquote airport.
Shot.
Flush strike there. Although we get offers to fly out of Dubuque to casinos to couple. So they run their charters and stuff there.
Yep. Yeah, for a while they had another carrier that was running to Vegas and to Orlando.
Max score for Reese is 212. And still in the 240s max.
Ooh, got that to the got that almost to the edge, and then it jumped hard. A routine stone 9.
I think he might have bypassed the hang spot there a little bit. He
hit the orange boards, and they're dry.
As they will be starting next week once leagues kick off.
Yeah.
I think the Thursday league is first because the holidays fall on Thursdays this coming season.
Do you bowl here, league?
I used to. I just don't have time with the job right now to bowl. I barely have enough time to do the pro shop here a couple nights a week.
So we won't see you down in Clinton next Sunday, huh?
No. I'm actually on vacation right now, so after I get this story written.
I'm smart. I do have tomorrow off work. No 3 a.m.er tomorrow. I always need a day to recover after this weekend, and I don't even bowl anymore. Ooh, got that one in, and this is really an incredible amount of hook. This looks like a lot more than what I saw in qualifying yesterday too.
I have to think that they didn't sit for too long.
Yep.
That might be a little
5 or 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes.
10, I would say 10.
The old days in the PBA, it was a 20-minute rule. They oiled it, had to wait 20 minutes to let the oil settle. People out there going, what? But that is a factor, believe me.
Look out.
Oh, that's a nice spare. Wow. With urethane making that.
Ooh, boy.
Off the lip.
Well, let's look at that again here.
Let's see, maybe 2. I'm going to say that's 1.5.
The interesting thing here is Clay's got a chance to win this. 3 more strikes and a 9, and he's got Foster locked out thanks to the 6 count.
And count is of utter importance. Good jokes in the chat, though, from the Foster family about Cameron better let Clay win this so he's got no place to stay or eat tonight. They are two great friends.
That's a tough break.
And that is the hang spot.
And it sounded like, Mark, you said it was pretty consistent. Just doesn't matter what you're bowling on, what pattern it is.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's league or tournament shot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that rack on 9 is a bit yucky.
Ooh, yeah. It's
pretty closed. And it's been consistently coming up like that. We have 5 righties, so nobody's really going to have an advantage. But I would look at that, and I would, unless the lanes themselves were dramatically different, I'm automatically starting on 9.
Well, you didn't hear this from me, but the mechanic is left-handed, so.
Oh, well, that explains it. Okay, he stays alive. Get 202. That would force. So 2 strikes and 9. 201 would force Cameron to double. Oh, wait. I'm adding wrong. What am I doing? Yep. I don't have my glasses on. That's why I'm keeping score by hand, and I wrote the wrong one down. Glasses are in my computer bag out in the car.
Well, it's okay. If Clay does, yeah, as you just said, get 2 more, though, it would force a mark.
Yep, would force a mark. That's pretty good.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, if he doesn't win, he's going to remember that mixer 7 for sure.
Yep. That last shot was a little more left, but it looked like it was parallel to the first shot in the 10th, and still had some great maple moxie. Another version of that phrase.
So, this morning, was Cole using resin or urethane to start with his 856?
I didn't see him on the fresh at all.
Because he was way down that end.
Well, he started like 13, 14, 15, 16. No, I'm sorry. Actually, he did. He was much further down.
That's enough.
He was on 17 and 18, I think, just outside of camera range when he shot 297 game 1.
Because it looked like when I was watching his warm-up shots on 1 and 2, it looked like those were reactive because he was curving it. But the angle's not the greatest here. Simple for Foster here, just needs a mark. Ooh.
Look out.
Watch out.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of hang spot, well, makeable.
Quick replay of that.
Looked fast to me, too.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, that's a toughie.
Ugh.
Oh, and just like that.
Reese moves on. All right, we'll go down and get things going for the next match.
All right, game 2 or match 2 is on its way. Well, that was it's always tough when you get to that point, obviously, but there's never anything guaranteed. But Clay certainly will continue, and the best of friends certainly, I'm sure, will have some kind of laugh, joke, discussion about what just took place.
At some point.
But right now, you know, but Jeff was saying, though, with regard to the pair, they do seem to be a bit sparky. And I don't know if that favors anybody at this point, especially on the fresh. Now, as mentioned, David Cole shot 297, 297, 280, 279 the first 3 games today. All right, I'm assuming that obviously it's just going to be a little bit different than what he experienced this morning. How different, we're about to find out.
But it was not in this portion of the house either.
Correct. That could be an even better point. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Please share if you haven't and hit the thumbs up. Championship Finals, 11thframe.com open courtesy in conjunction with the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. We watched the practice shots here for one David Cole, originally out of Deerfield, Illinois. What suburb or what? That's not a northwest suburb.
It's north.
So it's just a northern suburb. Is that fair to say?
North, yes. The definitely right in the middle. Well, eastern part of Lake County.
Okay.
The Berto Center used to be there. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I just never knew how to properly describe the suburb direction when you get that far north.
It's off the Edens. Yes, Edens goes right through it. So.
So both players get 5 minutes. Josh Kennedy is the number 2 seed. He'll be next to warm up down there on 1 and 2. Emil Williams Jr. here with you. Jeff Riggles, Mark London. And Mark went to grab a quote from Cameron Foster. Again, for his story that will be in the local Dubuque newspaper in the coming days. We will have match 2. Let me change that up. By the way, Kirsten, look forward to seeing it at some point during the collegiate season. But I got to tell you, the kids deflating the mattress thing is very funny. And I don't know how, but I'm going to use that at some capacity. Not with Cameron or Clay, but the next time I have a guest over or they're going to hang out with my family. And if we happen to be competitive against one another and that person or I lose, I'm going to have my kids deflate the air mattress as well. These shots here are pretty important, obviously, for both, but I'm intrigued on the David Cole. Definitely not, at least in his hand right now, from the urethane perspective, although Clay is experimenting a little bit with it again as well. Customary couple of practice swings for David Cole. Yeah, there's Sparky. Gotta tell you, from David Cole, I would hope maybe Clay throws urethane a little bit just to keep pushing a little bit of oil down and help blend out the sparkiness of this pattern here early. First time for me inside Cherry Lanes. Fantastic facility. Part of the Boyd Gaming Properties Diamond Joe Casino. Now, of course, if Clay is could get certainly lined up, his look could get better as things progress. Handful of seconds remain in practice. I do think, or at least I thought it was a handful or X amount of shots. Yep, he gets one more shot. I'll try to estimate the amount of time it's going to take for set shots. David Cole trying to win this thing for Chicagoland and the city and the surrounding areas. David Cole does have choice of lane. He is the higher seed.
Well, we have an update on the You Bet You Win pot. Everybody's in. And the dollar amount this year, $910. Be 910.
Can you re-explain that that pot?
Screen?
Yep. No. Yep. The 910. That pot. What Joe talked about it a little bit earlier today.
Guys and gals, bowlers, players can bet on themselves to win. So 910. 910 and everybody's in.
First shot for David Cole, who chose to go first, 3-6-10.
I did ask both of these guys. David started, crud. 3-6. All right, I'll take care of that.
$3-6-10 will need to be reset on lane 9. You did X, as you were saying?
Yep, these guys, David did throw reactive. He said he used 4 different NV tours, but he used reactive right from the start. Clay said he started with reactive. He threw 3 shots, and let me see if I got this right. Strike, Big 4, Brooklyn, went to urethane for the rest of the first 3 games, then back to reactive.
Sounds like a common pattern these days as Cole covers the 3-6-10.
And who knows, the decision bowlers may not be making in the not too distant future.
Well, I mean, that's, my God, that slowed down the chats quite a bit in the last 2 to 3 weeks. But you got to look at it. I mean, honestly, the lane oils they're using now are nothing even close to what we had back in the 80s.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. My intuition is they're going to do what they did with the 6 storm balls and just make it for the highest levels. But I don't know. There's so many cans of worms when you do that. 2-8. My joke was I want them banned so that I don't have to write any more stories about urethane. I don't care about the bowling part. I'm so sick of the topic.
Josh Kennedy down there starting the warm-up process.
I got to think that Josh and Brett, if they're going to be curving it more, I just feel like they're going to have a better look the way that we're seeing this. It just seems like you have to kind of get it going left to right, although David's ball's checking up so much. This just looks like more hook than they had to have at the start today.
They definitely weren't curving or sparky like this this morning.
I mean, I don't see...
Even though there was more urethane overall going down the lane.
I don't see anybody shooting 856 when you cut it a little and you 3-6-10. You know, if you cut it a little and it's trip 4, okay. But there does not appear to be much room left at all. There's room right because it's dry to the gutter, but...
I was about to say that checked up a smidge early. And there's the proof. Almost disastrous early. But at least he knows it's there. But now the question is, how far can you move in with your feet left?
Yeah, he threw a couple during the practice. He bucketed on one with urethane where it looked like he tried to get in and get it a little left or right with the urethane and no chance. And he threw a couple balls with reactive. And he did have a couple strikes, it looked like, with the red and black ball there in the front, closest to us on the right side of the ball return. This is how bad I am. I don't even know any of Storms and Rotos and 900s balls from the last couple because I don't.
Right.
I'm a has-been, mostly retired guy now. People ask me, I'm like, what do I know? I don't bowl. There we go.
Shot. You say you used 4 different what?
Yeah, 4 different NV Tours.
NV Tours.
And he was serious, too. I said, if you're shooting 856, why do you need 4 different ones? When are you changing and why?
Well, it's...
But he may have meant he used 4 different ones across maybe the 12 games.
Right.
And not... Because all I asked was, what did you start with? Did you start with reactive? And he said, yes. And then he said, I used 4 different NV Tours. So I'd assume that he's meaning over the 12 games.
Could be... Well, we could ask him later if it's...
And the last... those last few games, he was probably making some changes.
Different layouts, different surface.
Yep.
But it could be, could be just 2 layouts, and you have surface differential on either.
I actually intended to bowl the sweeper Friday night. I got a couple of balls re-drilled with a little grip alteration, and I haven't bowled since May 3rd, but I wanted to be a little smarter about the pattern. And I said, I'll come down and donate $50 in the sweeper and just to get some experience. And there's the replay there of a perfect flush strike. Probably like the many that he shot on that 856 start.
Love to see the 10 fall that way.
That looks pretty good.
Yep.
And then I was about 5 minutes from shutting down my computer, about 10 after 1, 1:15 on Friday. And the email came out from USBC on the Hall of Famers for 2026 and the more changes. So I went, well, I'm not going to make the sweeper. Beautiful flush strike there for Clay.
And that shot was probably at least 2 to 3 right than the last time we saw him on the left lane, where he almost left the 4-9. Just for context, down lane, I mean, you can get it to hook down lane without question.
Yep.
Where you got it to that spot was the situation.
Ooh, that's on the edge. And it didn't go high. Oh, if I'm Clay, I like to see that, because
it looked like he just rolled that.
Yep. But those were shots that were jumping through the face, or I think earlier, and that one picked up and then kind of stopped. So we got some urethane carry down, I believe.
Just enough to notice. Let's see if it goes around that hang spot again. Yep. Okay. Good enough for me.
David just throws it's just such a clean, pretty release. We were talking earlier today. They bowled when we did in Baton Rouge, and in team event they were maybe 8 lanes down from us, 10 maybe, and had a 3100, and I believe David was high, and he bowled really good. Just got that clean release, and they broke him down and had some room right that we sure didn't have because we screwed him up.
Wow. Oh, my.
Dang. I say.
Wow.
That's a Yosemite Sam. I say.
That would be isn't that the Biggin classification for?
And then he would turn around and glare at you. And I'd be like, Mike.
Here it is again.
Watch this. In the air.
Jeez.
And that's a one-handed guy, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And the authority with that, too. Love that.
Not quite Cameron Crow's carry of the Stone 8 from yesterday. That was my favorite shot of the weekend.
Got that
looks
one
good.
out. Yep. Around the hang spot. Okay, that's going to be there for a little while.
Really good call, Mark, from you as we watched the last couple of games of round 2 unfold, as you kind of talked about almost what to expect on this pair, obviously with your experience, and it's starting to come to fruition because now we're seeing these individuals go around said spot that you were referring to.
Yep, that's and they're doing it well. Now the trick, once they burn out the area they're in, now they have to go. You can't hit it; you have to go past it. And that's where the trick that's where the 2 or 3 tricks you got to do to get it to still recover and still hit like it did. Maybe. Ooh. we've seen a few half pockets on 9 that just didn't. We're definitely flat 10, and that looked it, but not this time.
Don't think 191 is going to win this match. Well, a little 3-6-10 in the first shot, and then bam, 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 bam.
Yep. Well, got the nerves out of the way.
Yeah.
This looks more like what we've seen every squad, including this morning. I do think just the amount of time that the pair had to sit played a role in what we saw in game 1.
I would agree.
Hello, Gus, checking in. Scott would have been here. He says hello to Jeff. But,
Hey, Scott.
Had the 50 regional in Sussex. Hope it went well.
Tommy Hess also was there or would have been here. We'll see you next Sunday, Scott, probably. Carries the blower.
Yeah, this looks like the 856 version of David Cole. And as Jeff talked about, there's probably no one who would want to see the fresh more than Mr. Cole.
You have to give him a lot of credit. He had 104 in the 7th that last game, and he was out if he doesn't do something, and he threw the last 5. And I think he pretty much knew what he needed, the guys that were behind the pair said. And that first one in the 10th, if he doesn't get that, he's not bowling right now.
Yeah, Mark and I were watching. He really needed some hits, and then he puts them together. That's all you can ask for. Very championship-like mentality. In view.
Didn't quite get out of that one.
Almost tripped bucket.
Looked like he hung a little bit because the loft spot was a little further down, maybe a foot, but then the torque on the release is different. And he might have carried that on 9, but not on 10. Even though it was outside the hang, but still.
I have to say I'm a little bit surprised that Josh hasn't been down here watching a few shots here to do a little scouting, seeing the difference.
This is about the time you want to do that.
Yep. And if I was him watching this, I would certainly be. I mean, you could use both of them clearly. They're both working now, urethane and reactive. But I think watching David, he might want to, for sure, try some shots with reactive. I know when I saw him at the end of qualifying on Saturday, he was still using urethane at the end. But I don't know about this. This is the way David's reaction is. Whew.
Well, Josh is right now he's working on his
urethane. It looks like. I don't think he's doing that to reactive.
Yeah,
he is grinding.
He's resurfacing that thing to make it as fresh as it can be.
That's got to go high. Yep. That one was to the half board.
Max score drops now to 247. $237, beg your pardon. Brett Lloyd down there having just a couple words with Josh. Brett is the #1 seed, and from the qualifying position, Brett the biggest mover of the day from 41st to the #1 seed.
Proving what we talked about. When you have this games and all those bonus pins, anything is possible.
Got around it. Didn't matter.
I'd like to get around it like that.
I think I've had one shot in my life where I did that.
I might have thrown a few like that about 40 years ago.
Interesting thing about watching Cole bowl here is, and I've bowled with him normal for more than 20 years at this point, it looks exactly the same. There's some minute differences, obviously, as we get older, but he looks like the same dude that struck a lot at 18 and 19 years old.
Maybe. Oh,
Oh, heck of a break there.
That was a huge break to get that 10 out.
Still going at a 250 clip.
Oh, yeah, I was right. 247.
Yep. With a max out. .69, so
Possibility of a tie could loom here.
yep.
Got a frame to go before we can even
Worry about that.
really get to it. Big shot here.
Very nice.
Have ourselves a little bit of a match late.
I think this is one of the first years where we've had 2 bowlers start below the 30th position. Restarted in 35th. Made a nice run.
Well, that was the whole idea with the format. When we have what Joe does for the old Fusion Realtors, now the Ebonite Classics events, he'll take, up to 64 guys in the bigger center. And, you got 6 games or 7 games and then you get 6 more. But if you're buried 200 behind with no bonus pins, it's
Right.
those 6 games are kind of like,
Okay, still expensive practice.
And here, everybody that makes the cut has a chance for sure. Still
Got it.
alive.
Now that shot on 10 would have hit the hang spot. And probably he'd be looking at probably a 2.5. And if he gassed it up, it's 210.
Big shot here. Must have. Peel ball. Just a hair.
Well, that would make me, if I am Cole, throw my spare ball at the head pin. Because the only way he could lose this match, well, I mean, he'd have to go gutter 5. I mean, that's pretty unlikely, or gutter 6. But just take that gutter out of play.
Right.
Not mathematically, of course, yet, but great tournament here for Clay Reese making the trip. And the flight, of course, from Utah. And now David Cole stay behind the foul line. Keep it on the lane.
All right, give it a shot.
And there it is. Number 3 seed, David
strike.
Cole will advance. He will face Josh Kennedy, who lost a roll-off for the number 1 seed to Brett Lloyd. As Kennedy and Lloyd tied for the number 1 overall spot after all 12 games today.
So, thinking when we're done, bring the winner up here,
Yeah.
chat. I don't think you're going to want to change to that ball, David. That's actually not a bad thing to do, because now that's out of his mind. You see that and you're like, don't care. No chance. That ball could go in the bag, go in the trunk. 259.
All right, 259, 236. And Jeff's going to go down and get the semifinal match ready to go. Big thanks to everyone here at Cherry Lanes. Bob Hochrein has been fantastic. I would come back to the center in some capacity, whether I'm working or not, but man, they do it great here. Each competitor, by the way, even if you win the match, so if you're still bowling, you still get 3 shots on the pair. All right, so Josh Kennedy has brought his items down. Lanes will turn on here momentarily. And we kind of wait and see what Josh Kennedy is going to do here with regard to equipment selection. But he was getting the urethane re-prepped. That certainly looks like urethane to me. He was re-prepping his pitch black. Not sure if he has any additional urethane pieces in particular. We did see a lot of levels going down the lanes here at Cherry Lane, so that's always one you have to keep in mind with regard to urethane. It could look like it, but sometimes it's actually a level. And since it's been out, I have been confused on that a couple of times, especially on tour. But the cool note, the thing to look for is obviously green label for pitch black, white label for the level,
White label,
with a white pin as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'm positive that Hank and Schlem and Klemkin have come up with that, among others.
I'm trying to remember which pair, but I think it was 9 and 10 that Josh shot he shot 268 on that pair. That sound right?
Might have been 11 and 12.
Okay. While we wait, let me throw up our standings. After all was said and done here, I'll go down to the top 20. Of course, the top 48 all received checks. Actually, even 49th through 52nd. So if you did miss the cut to round 2 and you were 49th through 52nd, you too received some dollars.
And that was another tight race. Was what 93, 91. Of course, the numbers I picked. I was, again, being in that wrong 16.67% of the field. Always would favor, but I got close. Got it on the green.
Again, fifth was Clay Reese at 45. 66. Garrett Meadows just missed it at 45-48. So here are your other finishers. A couple of them at least. There's Garrett Meadows, 45-48. Dave Dentlinger, 45-45. Kai Evans, 45-34. Boo Kroll, 45-21. Usutalski at 10th place finish, 45-11. Ryan Powers, 11th at 45-03. Mike Kickball got to 12th at 44-97. Evan Flath, nice job by that young man. Incoming freshman at St. Ambrose, 13th at 44-91. He actually tied with Brandon Cryer at that number. Oh, here we go, semifinals. Emil Williams Jr., Jeff Riggles, Mark London here on Bullstream TV. Semifinals of the 11thframe.com Open. And another messenger.
Butcher in that 10 pin. Well, he's exceeded my season total that I'll have this year, the 2. I usually get 1.
Yeah, that super raisin messenger.
Not quite as fast.
Although the boys at Dickeyville, I still confuse them with my terminology. I said super raisin. They go, what? What's that?
First look at Josh Kennedy here in the stepladder.
Kind of surprised that he's
Playing
going without the urethane.
What?
But I'm sure he'll prove me wrong now and fire the front 9.
You said you were surprised he went without urethane?
With urethane.
Okay, gotcha.
Or maybe I said without, but I meant with.
Okay.
Just watching how David is just bashing him.
I don't think, I'm trying to remember this, and I watched Josh a lot, and a lot of it was at the start of blocks. We did get a chance to see him later in the block today, where he did pop off some big games. But I don't think he was wheeling and dealing until really late.
Ooh, that's possible. Oh,
that's a good break there when you go.
That was 10.
You go dead left, and I think he just apologized.
Or as our friend Ox used to say, I was right up that 10 board.
Right up that 10 board. Could you imagine Ox in the day of webcasting? Oh my gosh, people watching him.
Oh my word.
Man could bowl though.
Oh jeez. 10,
Soaking David Cole.
Yeah,
absolutely. 10 board, 12 board. He mastered it all.
Early double for David. It's weird to call him David.
I always never know if it's David or Dave with a lot of guys.
I think I've called him David, but this is because I've known him for so long.
Yeah.
We just don't call him David.
It's always been DC3 to me. So.
But since this will live in history, I'm going to call him David, so he can always refer back to it.
Got it out there again. Well, you can see where the 856 came from.
Absolutely. You get a look at that Cole shot after Josh Kennedy. As your number 1 seed now, Brett Lloyd is taken down and taken to the warm-up lanes on 1 and 2. About to start his graduate assistant role at Mount Mercy. Kennedy, 4-pin. little Trey Hendricksmeyer. That's someone who should be bowling this tournament.
Yeah, no kidding. I was kind of thinking he was gonna. I mean, this is right close, and it's sort of on the way to Wichita. Maybe he had to be to Wichita already to start the semester.
It is Sunday.
Or maybe he was down in Plano with the gigantic. I was talking to Cam Crow. He said Ryan Barnes told him there was 800 brackets.
Oh my gosh!
Max.
At the Kickoff Classic.
At the Kickoff Classic, yep. 800. He said if it's the same date next year, he might have to go down there. I said, man, you're bowling for a living, and what you can shoot. I said, I'm not going to hold that against you at all. In New Mexico, too, I said, it's weird that they would, but maybe they did that on purpose with the Kickoff Classic to have it the New Mexico weekend to kind of take a couple of the heavy hitters out of there. But, boy, with that kind of bracket action.
800 brackets. For how many games? Or just a whole day?
Well, no, because I think he said 2 shifts of 800.
Because it is the largest team tournament.
Because he said that's 4,000 a shift, I think is what he'd said.
Great shot for Kennedy.
And we were all excited over the play the field. Well, I guess that was almost that many at Nationals.
D. Cole not wasting any time here. Good match of brewing. Couple of practice swings. Bang.
Boy.
Is that the same walk?
That's a saunter. That's not a walk.
Well,
That's a saunter.
he's got the step back to get all the momentum going, and yet on that shot, I don't think we have a replay, but I watched his release. His thumb was out, and his fingers were still at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he just rotated it to 5 o'clock, and that's, oh my gosh, okay. How pretty is this going to be? Whoop.
Didn't quite stick the landing, but
Was that a little spin to win?
Yeah, I think he kind of stuck at the line there. And
all right, Mark, tell me what you see here on this one.
I thought he
Again, he didn't stick the landing. Obviously, we'll keep that in mind.
I thought his hand, because he stuck it, he might have turned it because based on the follow through, the thumb was pointing left, but still on the lane that hooks more, it doesn't matter. It's actually a good thing. You don't need to absolutely cure it. As you do over here. Look out, that's guy. Well, he tried to get 4 fingers in that shot.
And that's where players started to really get into trouble. If you missed right early, you did normally pay some type of price. That's a good price as opposed to the design that others paid, certainly.
Right.
that's a urethane hooking that much. That's a lot of hook for a urethane.
Even much more than the gold angles back 40 years ago.
I threw one of those not many times.
Well, remember, we had to keep at regionals. We had to keep those in the beer coolers overnight. Make sure they wouldn't get too soft.
McDowell used one of those more than I did. That just hooked too much for me.
A lot of good names in the chat from my peak performance days as a youth bowler. Andy DeCalue checking in, and he is right. It is David Keith Gregory Cole III. Let's put his full government name.
The third. Yeah.
I see Trey Hendricksmeyer's in the chat there. Trey, if you're still out there, why didn't you bowl this weekend? Are you already at Wichita? Or at the Kickoff Classic or something like that, or maybe New Mexico?
Up 8.
Oh, that's a better shot.
Yep, that wasn't out to the edge, didn't jump.
No.
I think, now I'm sure I'll be proven completely wrong here with something bizarre happening, but I'm not going to say the match is over, but I have to think that Josh, if I'm in Josh's shoes and sitting there, I'm thinking I cannot miss again and praying that David's going to miss twice and not consecutively. And this is that's a 300 look.
Jeez.
And a 300
And he's just dead
game.
ace.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
I thought he got around it just a pinch more, but he's throwing it to the right area. His window is right there.
There is no way I would shoot this rack on 9.
Oh, my gosh.
It is tough.
3 is in and the 9 is to the right. Boy, you better either be mixer or high flush.
Well,
I don't even think he looked at it.
no.
I guess when your ball's going high flush, suctioning every shot, it doesn't really matter.
This is
Maybe
for
you want to
7
keep
in
your
a row.
rhythm.
Oh, wow. Front 7.
Us old guys that don't have power, we have to watch the racks. I might get about a 7 count in the pocket with that rack.
We're looking for, 16th of an inch to say, hey, call Goose Golden over to get a re-rack.
And here we'll see it.
Jeez.
That would have been a 5-7-10 for me. At least a 7-10.
I might have left the 2-pin with that as well.
Must strike in my mind.
Yep. That was good.
He delivered.
Stayed behind it. Gave it just a bored head belly. That's a term you don't hear much anymore.
Tell us how old you are without telling us how old you are.
Par bowling. How's that?
And here's Josh again. Another look at it. Just firing it. I'd love to have Spector cats on this. That's got to be pretty close to 20 miles an hour, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite Eugene, but up there. That looks pretty good to me. Ooh, wow, that really...
Ooh.
I think he was maybe a little slower.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
And
the fingers stayed in longer.
this is over. I mean, I don't see Dave going open. And he's got 220 some if he does that. Not to be a cat or anything. The black cat. Jinx.
Well, I mean, for Josh, too, right? As the player in the moment, you also know in this situation you don't have many chances, right? You only got probably 2 shots that you can afford to not strike in this scenario. Now, stranger things have happened. They don't look like they're happening in this current scenario, though.
Ooh,
that was...
Look out. Okay.
A lot of 9 right there.
Almost was a cat.
A
Stone
lot
3.
of 9 right there.
Stone 3. I was about to add that the rack on 9 looks pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Looks better.
Just in case we have some viewers who are, may not know what to look for with reference to a tough rack. What are you looking for? What should people be looking for?
I always look for spacing on the 1-3, and then number 2 spacing on the 3-6. And occasionally, if you see something odd with the 9-pin or the 5-pin behind, but this rack here is the 3-6, and this, it's pretty good right now. It might be a little tight 1-3, but that's about as good as it's been. And there's been a couple where the 3-6 have been tight, where the 3's been a little to the right, and then like that last one we looked at, the 3 was definitely in, and that happens as pins kind of jostle around and the machine sets them down. It's
And if you have a flipper that holds the neck of the pin, if it's off, if you have one side has more pressure than the other, it's going to set it off to one side, maybe as much as a 1/4 inch. Then
That's why we have re-racks in bowling, because for the average person and in league and stuff, you know, I would never take a re-rack. But when you're bowling for something like this, or the guys on tour now, of course, on tour, re-racks are often timeouts for people. I mean, in this case with lane 9, I'm taking them because now that rack there on 9 looks perfect.
It's better. I see the 3-6 just a bit, but I see where I'm at. I see the 9-pin over.
Yeah, you're right. A little bit to the right.
Maybe an eighth.
Yeah.
So if you go high flush.
Again, my eyes are not.
There's
more.
There's a bigger window for the ball to chop the 5. You know, it's harder for the ball to take out the 8 and 9, as Barney keeps telling us.
Yeah.
And Kelly on the shows about optimal carry these days.
I've gotten so bad that when I play craps, I would try to get close to the stick so I don't have to see from one end to the other because I can't see what the roll is. I'm not lying. It's like, what was it? What was it?
Yep.
Boom. Yep. Not a terrible game here. He's just running into the guy, the guy with the magic strike ball on the fresh today.
That was.
Was that on the wrong lane? What's going on here?
Wait a minute.
No, that's the correct lane.
That's right.
No, that was.
He struck. It just didn't register.
Just
so
reset,
I think he's got to reset.
Yeah.
Brett Lloyd's made his way down. Going to give it a look at these last couple of shots.
I would assume it would mark. No, it did not. That's interesting.
The old system, it did. It would do that.
Josh was going to do his own score correction a lot faster than any of us could have. Now this one, I see the 1-3 is pretty tight.
Yes.
So I would say that what did you call it? It's a flipper on the Brunswick.
Yeah,
it's a little loose maybe for the 3-pin.
Yeah,
So it's setting it variably.
If one is looser than the other, it's.
I'm an AMF guy from years ago.
Oh yeah. Trying to think of what shape that would be. It's like a square with a groove cut into it, where the head of the pin or the top of it sticks up. And if one releases a little faster or doesn't have as much tension in it, it's going to cause that pin to have potential to be.
And there's a ring 10 on what probably was a pretty good shot. And we don't, in the Greater Iowa, as far as I know, I don't think Joe has a specific re-rack rule. I think the re-rack rule is don't be a Richard. You know, I mean, if somebody's up there re-racking
every
8 times or something.
Yeah.
You know, but if someone wanted to take 2 or 3 re-racks in a game on lane 9, we wouldn't have. That would be just fine. I don't think Joe has a rule. We haven't really run into it because you just don't see too many in tournaments like this.
Nice game by Josh Kennedy. Nice tournament.
Yep, great tournament.
I didn't know much about him, but he can play.
Yep.
Heck of a run to get to, number 2 seed.
Well, he was the number 1 qualifier yesterday.
Right.
And then he led for 1 game, and that's when, after that, David Cole took over.
Now, I think Cole just moved in a little bit. That looked to be almost like a 2-1 or a 3-2, and it was still.
He did not take all his practice balls. We give 3 on each lane to both players, and I think he only took 1 on each lane. And he just said, "I just taken enough to get loose and stay loose. I should say, stay loose." So I don't blame him. That's a pretty impressive game. One airmail runaway that was about 5 inches from being a 3 count. The way it was going. And then 11 no doubters almost.
I heard the story this morning about the Chad Moss wide left.
Man.
Ryan Powers, the last game you saw.
Right, yeah.
3 spare.
Yeah.
And he almost made it. Boom, 279. Beautiful game.
Jeez.
All right.
And I'm thinking, that's all he got?
279, 227. Whew. David Cole is now in the title match. here at the 11thframe.com Open. He will face top seed Brett Lloyd, and of course the top seed was determined via roll-off between he and Josh Kennedy. Riggles has the score on that roll-off. I didn't catch that one. They started about, they got about 6 frames or so in before we began the Cameron Foster-Clay Reeves match here on 9 and 10. So David Cole, by the way, he's gone 259, 279. Now, if you're joining us for the first time today, David Cole's first 3 games to open up the round 2 competition this morning, our 12-game block earlier, 297, 280, 279. Those were his first 3 games, 856 out the gates. And more or less, he truly didn't look back, and he didn't really get into trouble until the last 3 games where his look truly had gone away. And, you know, he never did make the huge bump or jump left like some players did. He was trying to maneuver and do whatever he could do, I think, to not probably have to do that. All right, the practice is ready to go. 3 shots on each lane. Brett Lloyd, who started his collegiate career at Mount Mercy. That's in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And this is going to be a good match, and obviously David Cole knows that. Well, folks, if you wouldn't mind to hit the thumbs up for me on this vid. Appreciate everybody tuning in, especially during the championship finals. I see a lot of Chicagoland is tuned in to watch David Cole try to take down this title. And a similar situation, I bet a good portion of Raleigh, North Carolina, if not the entire city, maybe even the state of North Carolina, maybe some players from Florida, where he helped lead Weber to a national championship, and certainly locally here in the state of Iowa, and as we mentioned, Mount Mercy. All things, all fans, all relationships developed by one Brett Lloyd. As he is set to bowl here in the title match as the #1 seed. He had the biggest climb with regard to starting position. He was in 41st. He qualified 41st. And in this format with, again, the numerous bonus pins available, he ends up the top seed. Shot 194. Wasn't sure if that was going to be enough to hold on to the top spot.
There we go. All right. Nice little chat with Josh. He said he wasn't real happy with the game. He, you know, said he wasn't mentally prepared. Didn't feel. He said he was lucky to shoot 220, at least in his mind, his view. But to have a heck of a run like that, to be QL and then get down to, you know, in the end, it's, yeah, he not 100% happy.
It's understandable. To me, that sounds like someone who has very high standards. Which,
oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is
I mean,
totally good.
And you're looking at, you know, the goal of continuing on. You're mentally there, you're physically there, and when it doesn't happen, it's, you know. As we've seen over the years with different players on various telecasts, all tours, who have a huge lead going to the step ladder, and it's almost like, okay, part of that mental matter says I won the tournament at the end of match play. I'm now like 500 pins ahead of second place, but now you get one more game.
Right.
As I can remember, and you know the most famous one of all those matches was at Brunswick Zone Palatine back in '79. Now this is before your time, but that's when Dave Davis had a 770 pinned lead over second and shoots $170 on the show. Just had nothing. And I know Chris and Bo were trying to build that up like it was, hey, he should shoot, 270 here. But if you sit for a while, at that time it was, 15 hours until the next day.
Right.
You didn't have to really show up the last 3 games at all during match play.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. This thing started way back yesterday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. 3 squads, A, B, and C. 12 games this morning with the top 48 on the lanes. Tons of bonus pins available, and here we are. Top seed Brett Lloyd, 3 seed David Cole for the 2025 11thframe.com Open Championship. Emil Williams Jr., Jeff Riggles of 11thframe.com, and Mark London. He's a Hall of Famer in the bowling media business as well. Shout out to Mark.
Really? Oh, I am? Okay.
Come on, man. Don't be playing. Opening shot for David Cole.
Ooh, that looks in.
It is in. And
it's 10-10. I saw one shot Brett threw that was really in on lane 10 and bucketed. And that may have been a test shot, too. It might have been intentional.
I'd be curious to find out. We'll obviously know in here in just a second. But which ball Brett is going to throw. If I had to guess, it looked like the Ion Pro Solid might be the move.
I think so.
Quick shout out to, this is how you know that everybody in Chicago is rooting for David Cole. My high school bowling teammate, Enrico Rodriguez, checking in, watching David Cole try to take down this title.
Ah, there we go. Okay, we got our explanation from Trey. He was already down there, so okay.
Okay, all right.
That's cool.
Appreciate you hanging out with us, Jay, as well. Great facility here at Cherry Lanes. It is the Ion Pro Solid and high flush 9 for Brett Lloyd. There were a lot of 9 pins, but Mark, we were talking yesterday, and it sounds like you can leave your fair share of 8s or 9s in this building.
Well, especially 8s.
Even though the carry is actually really good.
You would be surprised. Well, the outside is so dry. 9s are common. Much like, leaving a 4-pin back in the day. Remember those days?
Yes. Vaguely. Decades ago. When your thing was the number one stuff then,
right,
too.
That's right. But the funny thing is, yesterday I was just floored. And Emil, you remember, I said, messengers, you just don't see those in this
you did
building.
say that.
You just do not see that here.
But we've seen, obviously, Mr. Cole
but
throw bonkers at him.
Right. But that might be with that new oil and this pattern.
Lloyd. Whoa, wow.
Hello.
What in the world carried all of those pins?
I didn't see that. Did he have the 4-pin and it messengered out? Because he was blocking my view.
No, it looked like the head pin kind of half helicoptered and fell on the back side of the 4, caving it in. Here we go. Kicking the legs out. Yeah, that was the head pin.
I see.
That was the head pin.
Hatchet job from behind. Yep. That's a Dale Traber special there. Let's everybody get in the game.
Oh,
mercy. Oh, that's an occupous start.
How is Glue doing these days?
The last time I saw him, he was our score marker at senior state tournament. We walked into the team event, and he's sitting there, and I gave him a big hug. It was his, one of his local centers, and he just wanted to see everybody. So he's volunteered to be, the guy that writes the scores down or whatever.
Wow.
So basically, he just, got to schmooze. He's not really bowling. His competition goes to video poker these days. Once he reached a certain stage where he couldn't win, he's one of the most competitive human beings anybody could ever meet. I mean, that man was grumpy when he was a competitor. And heart of gold, though, if you really got to know him.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
But on the lanes, him and I had our share of battles, and I used to pick on him, and he'd give it back. And but once he said he couldn't win anymore, he said then it wasn't fun. So he quit the senior tour and everything.
And I think his last tournament was at Super Bowl in Peru.
There's a messenger.
Where he told Toby that, that's it, I'm done. And then they I can't remember exactly. Was it after qualifying? They had a meeting or something. They gave Dale his banner.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think I was there. I got my banner in Marengo. And then I ended up and I quit because of the rule changes for USBC, and then I ended up rejoining later when we reached age limits and everything. Woo! Yeah, that one was a little too far.
Navigating that hang spot.
Yeah, let's take a look at that real quick. And
I think he might have rolled. He might have caught.
I think that rolled out. I think that was so far wide, so much to the dry that it just kind of checked instantly and rolled out.
You guys were talking about the possibility of what it could look like if someone goes left to right and opens them up a little bit, but
yeah, that because it went straight when it hit the pin. That was rolled out. That was DOA.
Right.
Good spare. I got to do a quick shout out here. Susie is actually watching bowling, she said.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
She texted. She doesn't even like to watch me bowl anymore because she always says, I only want to watch you if you have a chance to win. So she hasn't seen me. But I said, do you realize?
She doesn't want you to waste her time.
Yes. I said, yeah, thanks, honey. I appreciate that. She goes, well, I don't mean it that way. I said, I understand.
Hey, you know the story. He doesn't. The first time I met Susie was in this building about 50 feet behind us the weekend that I won. So Susie will always be.
Damn.
Good luck.
But she texted me and she said, what time is the stepladder start? And I said, about 4. She goes, okay, I'll watch some slot videos until then. So I said, not doing much this afternoon, huh? So her and Bella she worked all morning on the house. Her and Bells were going to curl up on the couch and listen to Daddy's voice.
Fourth frame.
Ooh, stuck again, I think. Wham. He does pretty good when he sticks.
But it doesn't have that instinctive grab and, pull up. It's just still pretty smooth.
Well, the humidity outside. I went out to get this thing because it's cold in here. The AC's going so much, but it is like just a sauna out there.
If you've worked the Lucy, you know what Southeast Texas is like at this time of year. It is oppressive.
See if he can stick the landing here on the left lane. And he is a planter.
That looks pretty good. Oh!
No.
Digs the 10, leaves the 7.
Now, I can speak to this as a fellow planter. Not sliding.
Right.
I mean, occasionally, there would be something that feels like you did stick. I personally enjoy it. It could be as humid as possible, and it's the best thing ever for me.
Swept it away. He reset it and swept it away.
Well, it gave him a strike.
Yeah, the 7-pin, it re-racked and swept it away. So
it was relayed to the.
Do they know up there?
To the registry, yeah. They know. It was relayed back. Yeah. I'm that weird dude who likes it to be as humid as possible.
Yeah.
And if it's humid, I would, I know that.
So you don't slide at all?
Nope.
Okay, so you're kind of like a Ron Palambi?
I'm upset if I do slide.
Okay.
I'm kind of old now, so it hurts.
Yeah, to me that would be that's a prescription for knee problems and hamstrings.
I did that a couple times, and it cost me 17 grand in hospital bills.
Oof.
After tearing the ACL, it was not pretty. Looking for a double.
Bang.
Wow. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The one I like watching now, and this will be right up your alley, Emil, is Stephanie Zavala. She's got that gigantic last step, and then she does have a little slide. But every time I watch her bowl, I think Dave Ferraro. Yeah. Because that's how he used to.
Yes.
He took that step into a plant.
Yep.
And I said, how is he so much better than me? And
watch this shot.
Watch this shot. It is perfect.
Look at that.
Bam.
I spent a lot of time talking about Stephanie Zavala last week.
Yep.
As the tour ended, and I just think she's somebody that can get to that 15 title range, which we think is kind of that new 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
15 is the new 20, and with respect to the current structure of the tour and the number of events. Oh, walk it off, Brett Lloyd.
Wow. We have a match.
Okay. This was expected, certainly. These two players, Brett's rise from 41st today. David Cole's monstrous start. Yeah, he was great today for 9 out of 12 games. And I'd give him 10 games because he had to throw the back 5 to get to the show.
Right. And he told me he was just tired. He was just flat out. And then he got lost in transition a little bit.
Wait till he gets really old. He's not old. He's just not bowled, probably. I'm sure he's not one of the guys that's bowling regionals and traveling all over for, every, like Cam Crow's, like every different state, every weekend.
This feels like an early shot of the match here.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, he got it to the spot.
Ooh, get out of there.
Almost another solid 9.
That Hawthorne 9-pin. Hello.
Messenger 9. Wow. That's key.
Jeez. Think he's going to move on the next shot over there?
I would.
Well, if you look at what's happening, right, just look at the entry angle for both players now.
And Brett's inside of where David is, so he better be moving.
And Cole only has one more shot over there for the 9th frame.
Yeah, you're right.
It's getting interesting with regard to entry angle at this point.
To go up by 12.
Oof. Impressive.
I forget where I first saw Brett. It might have been a junior. No, it must have been a collegiate national championship TV show where he was one of those guys that as soon as I saw him throw it, I went, ooh. Guys stand out where you go, okay, I have to keep an eye on this guy or remember that name. That's going to come up again. And that's one of the journalist. You always want to be the one that identifies somebody up and coming.
Through the clutch double in the 10th frame to help Weber beat Lawrence Tech. And that was a couple seasons ago. Now trying to claim an 11thframe.com Open championship as a singles player.
Moved in a little bit.
Oh, that's a crazy wrap 10 right there.
Wow. That might have been like a 4-2, 5-2.
Yeah, that was definitely a move, I think.
And it was, wow.
Just like that, David's got the higher potential score.
Here it is on the screen.
Yeah, he was definitely, that was not near the break point to the right, but oof. Ring.
Just didn't quite get there with regards to where he had been, getting it to the spot down lane. Oof. All right, so that Brett Lloyd 49 max, 258 max for David Cole. Brett Lloyd is going to finish first, so if Mr. Cole can strike here in the 8th and 9th, Brett Lloyd can't step up and shut him out.
That's left.
Uh-oh. Stood up on it.
Jeez. Was it me or was that 5-pin a little bit left? But he's rolling it so well, it doesn't matter.
Ooh, this is.
I think that's, going back to like the previous match, we started talking about the racks, right? And the left lane might have been just clear where you might re-rack it.
I'd re-rack this one. Boy, I don't like where that 3-pin is.
Well, so
oh, geez.
The last time we said this, last time you guys talked about this, he kind of got that late 7-10 weird hit to carry. The second time we said it, 6 went into the 10. Perhaps third time is the charm.
He's got good rhythm.
9th frame. Bang!
You can have a bad rack when you throw it that flush.
Yeah. He had. Remember what Nate would say about this? The man has Lois.
Yes.
That was obviously beyond important, but now he can't be shut out.
Yep. And now the rack on 9 looks just fine.
Yeah.
So
look at that shot on the screen.
Yep. You can have the pins be pretty much anywhere if you throw it there with that power. I would say Brett better get a 3 strikes here and a decent fill ball.
Yeah, he's got a strike in the 9th. At least the first one, 10th. Gotta have it.
Oh, Messenger in front.
Wow.
Oof. No, I got right behind to see that 5-pin, and maybe it's just I'm just seeing it funny, but it looked
on lane 10. You're talking about
on 10, yes.
Okay.
It looked like it might have been just a hair left, but no, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. Yeah, you're right. This is the best rack of the day on 9 that we've seen.
Excuse me. Oh, no.
No. Oh, no.
Well, I was just going to say that Brett makes the spare there. If he strikes out, he shoots 238, and that would have forced David Cole to double the 10. 9 spare strike would have been 237.
Yep, so he would have had to get the first one. Now he's just going to need, I mean, if Brett strikes out, 9 out, well, 9 outs, he just has to mark then. So mandatory double here. He's going to remember that ring 10. That's the shot he's going to remember in the 8th. It's 9 out is 225 if my math is right.
That is correct.
Cole, so strike, another strike, and then a 9 is 226. So he needs strike 9 to force Cole to mark.
Move a little deeper.
Nine or better. Forces a mark.
Oh, now we could have a tie.
Out of play.
That's a 2-8, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Now we could have a tie. 9-0 would be a tie. Anything less, Lloyd wins. Any mark, Cole wins.
Mr. Cole, just like he has all day, wasting no time, right into the pre-shot routine. The 2 practice swings, the step back, the go, read it, ball, bang, and there it is. David Cole, the 11thframe.com Open champion in the year 2025.
You know when you dig the 10 out like that you threw your Sunday punch. There was no squeeze in that. That was a quality release.
That was what Bo Burton would call the ideal angle. If you dig the 10 out that way, or even get it to fall toward the 5 pin, that's it.
Not quite 856, but it's 3 games. 259, 279, 258 possible.
God, he struck on that one too. What a performance.
Wow.
What a performance.
He earned that. Excellent. Just flat excellent. Brett Lloyd, fantastic bowling today. They go from 41st to now 2nd. But this one belongs to Mr. Cole.
Well, as I told him after qualifying yesterday, hey, you got a shot. Got a chance. Get me something to write about.
Yeah, we'll get.
And he did.
We're going to get David up here to chat with him.
Is there an official trophy presentation?
Yeah, and we take pictures.
Okay.
Yeah. And we usually do that after we talk to him first, then do that.
Okay.
We bring Joe out, and
gotcha.
Bob's not here this time, so I don't know if anybody wants to. Don't make the people wait. Don't make the listeners wait.
All right, so let me get a camera set up here. We'll need David Cole, Mark.
Who's going to give up the headset?
Yeah, Mark, I'll need you to, for 1 second.
We ready?
All right, 1 second, and all right. There we go.
All right, here we are. Congratulations. We're with David Cole, our champion for the 2025 Greater Iowa Bowling Association 11thframe.com Open. Congrats first. Quick initial feelings.
Finally.
You've been coming here many years, haven't you?
Actually, this is only my second
Really?
one. Yes, sir. But I haven't had a chance recently to actually compete very often. It works, take a little bit of precedent, but it's nice to get one under the belt, especially this one. This is a phenomenal event, and continue to support it in any way I can.
Now, the obvious thing to me is, first off, you started with 856 this morning. You had to have a lot of confidence once you knew there was a re-oil and you're coming on fresh, right?
I was gritting games 10 and 11. I don't like my thumb just opened or just swelled up. I don't know. They got tricky. A lot of people made some great shots when they were supposed to, and that 12th game.
Yeah, let's talk about that first then. 5-bagger to close from 104 in the 7th to get 194 to just squeak in. You needed bonus pins. It's a little bit hard to figure out exactly, but you needed the first hit in the 10th. Did you know that?
Nope. Honestly, I just figured that just go out there, just do what you can, and if it worked out, it worked out. I'll take the hat too.
So what happened? I mean, you're bombing them like that. It was more just feel and tired, or
I think so. I haven't really had a chance to really throw this many games in a long period of time, and kudos to the guys that do this for a living, because it really does put a toll on you, both physically and mentally. But you just fight through it, and I was just happy to be here. Mm-hmm. So had a little bit of luck yesterday. Had a great set with everybody on our pair, and just kind of carried it over to today.
And in those last few frames of that last game, what did you say to yourself to turn 104 into 194? What did you do or anything?
I was just humming, to be honest with you. Just try to keep the cadence. Also, just try to remember, how far it is that you've come, and whatever happens, happens. But I just tried to trust myself. I had a few friends back here trying to just keep my temperament, calm, and I got a little lucky on a couple of them, but I'll take it.
And it had to be mentally tough. We're looking here at this sheet. You started with 856. You're bombing them game after game after game, and then 180, 161, 10 and 11, and then 104. To me, it's like you're a train wreck going on, and parts are falling off, and to mentally not let that cause a total collapse is impressive. I
appreciate that. I think I had a little bit of experience too at nationals too.
You had that
4 out. Yeah, I was like, it's nice to know that 4 out didn't cost me an eagle. But no, I just remembered, you just don't give up, and do what you can. Just trust your game, and hopefully, you're kind of matching up well, and got, like I said, a little lucky, but at the right time.
And for those who don't know, your team, what place did you guys end up at team in?
11th overall. Yeah, it was a really good year for all of us.
And you were high on the team, if I recall.
Yeah.
And did you have 7?
686.
And that is with a 4-0 on a string of strikes, correct?
No, that
0-4.
No, I was a 4-0. I had to clean. It was the first game.
Yep.
And I was struggling to just get a rhythm. Finally get a couple to go down in the 9th frame. Then 4. And it's not like I 4 guttered. I literally took a step left, missed just a smidge in, and it went right through where it went through in the first shot.
And I was a few pairs down, and I was like,
damn.
What was that? Did I see what I think I saw? And I looked at the scoreboard and I went, oh my God.
Yeah.
But to rebound like that, so that was kind of a training for this rebound here.
Yes.
Okay, now to the better part of this.
Oh, cool.
Now we get here and you find out, I don't know if you knew, but yeah, there's a re-oil. That had to boost your confidence. Okay, I made it, and now I know I'm going to have something more like what I bombed early today.
Yeah, shout out to Hammer with the NV Tours, man. I mean, those things have saved me so many times. But I actually had 3 of them with me today. And, I had a fresh one, which I was able to use during match play. And basically I just told myself, find a way to get there, and whatever happens, happens. And it was, but again, it's nice to get one under the belt.
And you looked like you were as loose as could be all 3 of these games here. 259, 279, 255 was it the last game? But no, 58. Talk about just the mental approach you had to just be relaxed. At least it looked like you were relaxed in a high pressure situation to win a big tournament.
Yeah, I was like starting over, and all you get is 10 frames. Just make the best that you can. I trusted my look in the beginning of the day. I trusted my feel. Yesterday, I admit, I didn't feel physically great. I scored well enough to be able to give myself a chance today. Stuck with my routine this morning, and helps when you go pretty big out of the gate. So I'll take it.
And 3-6-10, probably a little nervous first frame. Get the spare, then you run a string right away. Was there any point in these 3 games where you thought, okay, this is mine. I've got a look. I'm going to run through this. We were identifying that up here.
I would say no, because you never want to discredit, your opponent. And I had 3 terrific opponents. They're all phenomenal. They do this, well more often than I do. So again, tried to just stick with it, one shot at a time, one breath at a time, and got a little fortunate on a couple of them. But overall, though, I trusted myself, and I was really fortunate for that.
And where do you rank this in your list of bowling accomplishments?
Oh, this is my biggest win. I have a Milwaukee Open. That was a couple of years ago. But this one being streamed, and maybe a couple individuals saw that. Shout out to Mike
They'll
Dole,
be
by
able
the
to.
way.
Anybody
Appreciate
that
him.
knows you can watch it on in the archive. So,
Yeah, no, this is definitely one that like I said, it's nice to get one like this under your belt, especially when you haven't had one in a while. So I'll take it.
does this make you want to bowl more big tournaments?
My goal is to not stink at Team USA trials. Fortunate enough to be able to qualify there. So it's a nice little prelude to it. I definitely will try to get a couple more things in beforehand, but I got to remember what's first, which is work, and keep my priorities in place there. But definitely will try and make a few more out before I.
Is work what keeps you like going to the fusions? I mean, pardon me, the Ebonite Classics and stuff like that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do travel quite a lot, so I do bring like a bag with me every now and then just to make sure I can try to stay sharp. But there's nothing other than just real experience.
Have anything, you mean?
Yeah, I have one question because we go back to like 2002 or whatever it is. But I know this means a lot, and before this event started, we were just talking about what you got going on, work, and certainly family as well. So from that perspective, from the family perspective, does it mean anything more different taking this win home, knowing what you got going on as a family at home?
Well, I'm hoping that Peyton caught a couple of shots or two. Maybe that last one, that one felt pretty good. I will be honest there. I trusted it and felt pretty good off the hand. But to come home with something it's pretty special too. So, but I mean, share with everybody, man. I mean, my friends were here too, and I've got to see a lot of people I've been seeing in a long period of time, including yourself. So, hell yeah, man.
And the chat was popping. Like all the Chicagoland, I think, was watching, hoping you would win this thing, man.
I'll take it, man. It's 3-1-2.
Congrats, bro.
Appreciate it, man. It's great to see you.
Congrats again.
Thanks, Jeff.
Now we'll get to the money.
Oh,
We'll have a trophy presentation and some pictures.
I'll take it. Thanks again, guys.
All right, that is David Cole, your champion. 11thframe.com's Jeff Riggles. And now I think the official presentation will take place. If it's on the lanes, we'll keep it here to catch that. Mr. Joe Engelkiss. So with that, we'll keep it here. We've got Mark London back in the booth for a moment. And Mark, you've known David Cole for a long time as well.
Used to bowl league with him at in the Hawthorne Sport League. Threw it well then, scored well. But today was fun to watch.
Great bowling. You're welcome. Great bowling to Brett Lloyd. All right. We're just going to wait to see if we get the official trophy presentation here. I do want to capture that. With that said, real quick, Mark, I think, I get blessed to be able to do this now for a long time. And at the highest levels, right? I get to call PWA champions all the time. But every now and then there's a moment that you don't expect. And when you're someone that you know or close with or whatever, right, wins.
You've known for a while, yeah.
It hits a little different. So to see David Cole take this home is a personal thing. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Happy I was able to be here.
It's fun to see friends succeed. Anybody you've known for a while succeed in such a way. In fact, I was going to mention, I was going to wait. I guess now's the perfect time. You and I had a conversation in Baton Rouge in 2012 about, and you were discussing, you had, you were going to leave. There we go.
Keep going.
You were talking about, okay, Mark, you've been in broadcasting a while.
Sure.
You know what it's like. What do I need to do to get better?
Mm-hmm.
I said, just call anything. Just find work. Just get the practice in. It's like going on the lanes and just practice. Do different events, do different things. You learn a lot of things from different people. And then you came back to Bowl TV, and you're just crushing it. You're now the voice of the PWBA on Bowl TV, and I want to compliment you on that. You're doing an awesome job.
I appreciate it.
You
thank you.
You're able to take the ebb and flow of a telecast, which it essentially is, guide it through without falling off the cliff, as too many people have tried to do, try to get too much in a limited amount of time, and it's just a natural ebb and flow. No matter who's in the booth with you, whether it's Sid or anybody else, talking about equipment, talking about layout, talking about lane play, it fits at the right moment, and you're really excelling at that. And it's fun to watch. It's fun to listen to.
I appreciate you.
Because
truly.
The words match the picture, and you're getting really good at calling, setting up those clutch key moments, and just letting it unfold.
Well, we'll get off the air just so me and Mark can properly say our goodbyes to David Cole.
Right, and I've got to interview him for the story I have to write like 10 minutes ago.
So with that, I'm going to say, give me your final thoughts in 30 seconds, Mark.
It's always fun to see somebody that bowled extraordinarily well get rewarded in a stepladder. It doesn't happen often because often it's just one game. But to see David Cole, somebody who we've both known for a long time and who bowled with, just come through, it's fun to see somebody just dominate.
He was dominant stretches this morning.
Yeah, much like we saw Cameron Crowe last year. It's fun to watch. It's really, and I'm going to be watching this again. Not for my own critique, but
absolutely.
But at least to watch somebody go through two matches and just absolutely throw it as close to 100%, upper 90s in percentile as often as possible and strike. I mean, there were no iffies, there were no cheap hits, there was no snowplow in there. It's fun to watch somebody do that, and it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure indeed, and a big part of that are the sponsors, of course, for this wonderful tournament, including, obviously, 11thframe.com and Jeff Riggles himself. Cherry Lanes, Bob Hochrein was fantastic here inside Diamond Joe Casino, the Dubuque Regional Sports Commission, Brandon Steen and the Steen team, IAMBowling, Kwik Trip, and Kwik Star. And also, of course, Ebonite, who has been a proud sponsor for a very long time of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. True. With that said, Mark's got an interview to do, and I've got to get home. And what an honor it was to be here with you. Happy I was able to do it. Fun time. But David Cole, he is the man today. He's been the man, and now he's really the man, at least for 24 hours. Or maybe we'll give him 365 days. A title defense is on the way. With that said, I want to thank all of our guests this week. Brooke Salzman joined us, Mark London, Jeff Riggles of 11thframe.com, Joe Engelkiss of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. I feel like I'm missing someone, and I apologize if I am. Congrats to all of the competitors today. Congrats to our stepladder finalists, Josh Kennedy, Cameron Foster, and Clay Reese, and everybody who advanced to the top 48 this morning, and certainly the wonderful staff, Joe Engelkiss, his wife Rosie, his daughter Jen, fantastic individuals, great staff, and of course, again, Jeff Riggles. With that said, my name is Emil Williams Jr. You can catch, of course, all of the action here on the archive on Bowlstream TV. Like, subscribe before you depart. With that said, congrats again to David Cole, the champion of the 11thframe.com Open. This has been a presentation of said event. You watched it live and only on Bowlstream TV. We'll see you next time.